Malik, DDGM Pune. My dear colleagues and dear students and friends, I welcome you all on this World Meteorological Day. As we all know, on this day, 23rd March 1950, this organization, World Meteorological Organization, which is working all over the world in the field of meteorology, has come into existence. So this day is celebrated for remembering this Foundation Day of WMO. As we know that every year some very good interesting themes are taken by World Meteorological Organization. So this year also a very interesting theme has been taken: weather ready, climate smart. Again it has been added water wise. This is the main theme: weather ready, climate smart. And the basic idea of this year's theme is that since our population is growing day by day and a lot of changes are taking place in the environment, so it is a big concern that frequency of extreme events like flood, drought, cyclone, these things are increasing day by day. So as we all know, what is the weather? Basically, the sum of our environment or ecological system, when it is disturbed, it tries to balance in some form, because it has to maintain all the cycles like hydrological cycles, your energy cycles, and the things should not. So climate tries to normalize the things, and to normalize those things, certain events has to take place, like depression or low pressure system or cyclone. These are forming to maintain the heat energy balance, because equator is more heated, so that energy is transferred to the polar region by means of this weather system. So we cannot stop the weather system to happen, and but the normal process of weather system, if it is disturbed, it is too much harmful for our society. Since the urbanization is a big concern, as in this theme it has been taken, due to urbanization, industrialization, and increase in pollution, we are disturbing the ecological system. We are putting some elements which are not good for our environment, and the repercussion of this thing is that we are getting frequent floods, frequent droughts. Like in India, if you will see, nowadays you may be, as the monsoon began, you will listen that Rajasthan is getting flood, Gujarat is getting flood. Those are the area which has got the least rainfall in India. It starts with flooding. Whereas the world's highest rainfall area, Meghalaya state, where Mawsin Ram is the highest raining in the world. Earlier some other station was there, but now Mawsin Ram is the highest. So that area is now getting less rainfall. Means whatever the normal, it is getting less. So this last 4 or 5 years, Meghalaya is facing drought-like situation. So these changes indicate that we are making some disturbance to our climate, our weather system. So it is a big concern. So the question arises that with the growing population and modernization and all these things, how can we deal with it? So the environment has got the capacity to balance the things which are disturbing. So all the scientists think that the development should be such that it should not permanently damage our ecosystem. So that is called sustainable growth or sustainable development. Means we must disturb only that much which can be again normalized by our ecology system or environment. If we will disturb too much, then we have to face the repercussion. Then frequency of flood will be more, drought situation will be more, cyclone formation will be more. Like climate change studies is showing that rainfall over central India has got decreasing trend after 60. So such type of things all over world it is happening. That's why the theme has taken be weather ready. It is weather ready and climate smart. So we have to be we have to behave in such a way, we have to do our development in such a way that our ecosystem should not be disturbed, so that our future generation may not blame us that we have spoiled the environment and they are facing the problem. Similarly, water wise, everybody may be knowing that once Albert Einstein was asked, when will be the third world war? So his answer was, I don't know when will be the third world war, but it will be fought for the water. That was his reply. So you can understand how much important is the water. He thought, because he is considered to be the genius, one of the most genius person in the our universe. So he thought that time that water is going to be very crucial. And by even today, we are not considering it that much, because we have plenty of water. We think that nothing is going to happen. But what he told may come true sometimes. If we neglect those things and we will not take care of the water, because we have got ample of water, but we are not taking proper care. So the theme is very interesting. I will not take much time. I will just say you young generation to follow this theme that we must preserve our ecosystem, and if it is necessary, you should fight with the administration, politician, or whatever maybe, in the name of development. If they are spoiling our ecology, it should be stopped, and this has to be taken up by young generation. So that is my appeal to you all. You should not think that what we can do, we are helpless. You have got the strength, and you have to see that in future you may not face those things which you, our next generation should not say that we people has spoiled the whole environment. So that is the message of this year's WMO Day. I want to tell this much, and I would like to thank Dr. Kamat. He has accepted, and Dr. Malik has accepted our invitation. Thanks to you.
World Meteorological Day. As you know, World Maritime Organization and World Meteorological Organization, they are iconic institutions which are non-political and under the umbrella of United Nations organizations, to which India has made seminal contributions since 1945. We at the university, we do teaching, research, training in global warming and climate change. Also, various aspects of biodiversity, effect of climate change on biodiversity, phenology, and huge amount of work is going on. We encourage our students to study global warming and climate change, and we analyze in our class the ecology of climate change, IPCC, UNFCCC reports, Paris Climate Agreement, and we discuss, we debate, we argue, and we also participate in national international conferences. Part of this presentation is based on our own research in last 10 years. We are trying to see cloud microbiology, rainwater microbiology, trying to get various proxies for local, regional and global climate modeling in an area called microbial biometeorology. And in this, we are helped by and guided by Louisiana State University and many French scientists. This is a branch we like to develop in India and also specifically in Goa University. Then another thing is, among all the states in India which are vulnerable to global sea level rise, under different scenarios of 19 centimeters, 59 centimeters, 80 centimeters, 105 centimeters by end of this century, Goa is most vulnerable with 5% of the total land mass getting irreversibly submerged under the sea for all times to come. This is point one. Point two, as Honorable Director mentioned, Dr. Sahu today, the theme of the World Meteorological Day is very appropriate. That we have to be weather ready and climate smart, meaning we have to correctly monitor the weather, measure all the parameters, use all possible superior instrumentation, everything that is in our hands, and we have to plan in such a manner that we are ready for any type of climate change and disaster mitigation by building all types of worst case scenarios, because we take best case scenarios for granted. Our job is limited by constraint of our knowledge, that is, we may have maximum 200 years of reliable time series data. But as we study in our own class, most of Greenland ice core data which go back to more than a million years, it tells us oxygen concentration, CO2 concentration over millions of years, as well as the temperature anomalies in Earth's very remote past. Because when we are talking about weather today, we are talking about the atmospheric system of Earth system. And as you all know, students as well as experts, that atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere, they are very important for nourishing and nurture of biosphere. Now this biosphere is something which makes us really wonder whether this is the sixth biosphere and whether we will extinguish it. And scientists are all in agreement that under the 2 degrees Celsius scenario, if we don't manage to really fix the global carbon emission to 7 gigaton in the coming years, and if it exceeds 7 gigaton, then there could be a runaway greenhouse effect like what you see on Venus. In the whole scheme of things today, right now Juno spacecraft of NASA is mapping Jupiter's weather. More than half dozen spacecrafts are exploring Mars. Pluto Express has gone beyond solar system. And the sun is being monitored every second by SOHO. All of this you are really fortunate to see in the world of internet and cyber connectivity in real time. And you have massive gigabytes of data coming to your fingertips, and you should do justice in national interest and always be ahead in processing, analyzing data and making this country a knowledge superpower in weather prediction, weather modeling and climate modeling. And in consistent with this type of vision that we should have before us for the coming days and decades, I am in all humility presenting you some of the facts, some of the data that we have in hand. Go to next slide, please. I am a member of International Society of Biometeorology, and I worked under Western Ghats panel of Professor Gadgil, and I am also member of AAS USA. Next. There are lots of discussions are going on. Next. Today is a very important day because you should celebrate while you greet each other on the theme of World Meteorological Day. That is, from today, students will be very happy that the day length will increase, and on 23rd June you will have the longest day. You can work till perhaps 7:30. So that is most important. From today, we really love, long days, good beautiful sunsets, more light to work, more productivity, spring, because I can listen to birds chirping at 4:30 a.m. and I wonder why they wake up so early. Maybe because of climate change. Next. So this is the theme of weather ready and climate smart of today's this one. Next slide, please. So this recognizes this role that societies have in shaping our nation and focuses on crucial role of meteorological services in strengthening safety and resilience of communities in weather and climate events, right from panchayat ward level, municipal ward level up to the taluka and district level. We must be all well informed. I always phone up the editor if the day's weather chart is not published. I tell them it should be always published on first page. There are more than half dozen journalists in Goa who are very much interested in weather information. They give lot of publicity. Paul Fernandez, Sagar Zavdekar, all of them are continuously monitoring. If there is little rise in temperature, they will contact this observatory If there is a break in rainfall, they will contact this observatory. If some cyclone is developing, low pressure area is developing, they will contact. And this is a good sign. Now you have dozens of apps on smartphone. Please use them, install them, use them, including IMD apps is there, so that you are always kept informed and you can really monitor the weather all the time. It is important for us. Then next, this is Anthropocene. My students know what is Anthropocene is the industrial age, basically when we started using fossil fuels and created global warming. So we know Anthropo stands for humans. So this is an age which is completely where the earth system, the natural resources, the marine resources, biotic resources, all are having human fingerprint of human interference in biomes and ecosystems. So that's why we called it Anthropocene. Our species is around 700,000 years old. The earth is 4,560 million years old planet. It is one of the billions of planets in the galaxy. And there are billions of galaxies in this universe of 13,700 million years old and 92 billion light years across. We are just one planet in solar system. And there is absolutely no proof, and nobody is very hopeful about it, including Stephen Hawking, that proof will ever be found of intelligent life outside Earth. Right now we are more worried about geostorms, solar storms, how they will impact our ionosphere, Van de Allen radiation belt, magnetosphere, what will happen to our satellite-based communication systems, what will happen to UV-2B radiation, ozone layer. All these are important things for primary production, for climate, everything. So we are completely, all of us, including the weatherman, me, you, are at the mercy of the universe. Any asteroid can finish us. Any cosmic explosion like a supernova in the vicinity, which may not occur so soon, will finish us, gamma ray radiation. We are completely at the mercy of the universal cosmic forces. That should make us treat this subject of meteorology extremely seriously, because we are really lucky to have the technology at our fingertips to find some solution. Stephen Hawking advised all of us to go beyond Earth and settle on other planets because he was not very hopeful. He said within 500 to 600 years, this planet is going to be destroyed. Then what happens to the mankind? Where he will go? You can't go below the ocean, because even ocean will be very acidic and not inhabitable. So these are real issues. They are not science fiction ideas. They are not imaginary issues. They are not just nightmares. These are real issues. The reason is all these centuries we were taught we are at the center of the universe and we are masters of the universe. Science today makes you absolutely humble. The weatherman knows. Our weatherman will not give you a guarantee of anything. They can only give you the data. Rest is left with the decision makers and the people who manage various crises. Fire brigade. The weatherman will not come into the police, health services, 108, ambulance. The weatherman will give you only the data about temperature, maximum, minimum, rainfall, humidity, wind speed, direction. So it is up to us to play a very humble role, help each other, inform each other if you have information about weather. So let us see now in Anthropocene what is responsibility of anthropos, humans, Homo sapiens. We have 7.8 billion people on this planet, and by 2 more decades it will be 9 billion, and they want to freeze it there. Otherwise there won't be enough water and food for those people. We have to take World Meteorological Day in this state very seriously, not because this state is the first state in India to go 15,000 hectares underwater completely, coastal area, estuarine area, but we are country's most urbanized state with 66% of our population in urban areas. Rank 1, Goa, highly urbanized. So we have unsustainable urbanization, mountains of garbage, air pollution, water pollution, all sorts of issues. And weather makes a difference. We must know what we are doing to our own microclimate in cities, outside cities, our green belts. And that is why we can see what is possible and what is not possible. Next. So I am now having an interest in biometeorology because it tells us something about why Cassia fistula is flowering now at odd seasons. Why fireflies, which we used to see at night from middle of May till the end of November, are now appearing in middle of June and disappearing by September. Carissa congesta, the berry is called karvanda. These used to, the season of their flowering was always from February and fruiting used to end by end of May. Black berries, karvanda. In Pune, you must be knowing karvanda very. They make even wine from karvanda. Now, in Goa University, I have been staying there for last 20 years, 18 years, and I have been working in Goa University for more than 25 years. And we are field people. We go around, take photographs, take observation, take temperature with soil thermometer, hygrometer, satellite GPS data we collect, geoindex into Google Earth we use. And with all these measuring, monitoring, even at night, taking recordings with infrared devices, what I find very interesting is Carissa congesta is flowering in July. Now, monsoon is not a period for pollination. So why then the plant is getting full to flower during July? These are big question marks. So under Biometeorological Society, we discuss this and we participate in international seminars, sometimes in Istanbul, sometimes in USA, and where this knowledge is shared. So phenology is very important, whether the crop cycle is going to change, whether insect breeding cycle is going to change, whether it's going to be beneficial, non-beneficial, so that's extremely important. Next. So this is International Society of Biometeorology, which has been vast amount of research and it is our nodal organization. Next. So now we go to cloud microbiology. There is a lot of new knowledge where India is lacking completely. That there is no awareness about the role which is played by microorganisms, except for sulfatic aerosol, which Anayo and other people have studied from Indian Ocean, which are biological, which are chemical nuclei for cloud formation. But we are now studying biological ice nuclei called bean. So bean are very important for condensation of water vapor and formation of clouds. So these are all previous studies which showed microbiological dimension of cloud formation. Next. So let us see biosphere. Because our biosphere has all these rainforest, tundra, taiga, everything is enveloped by biosphere. And the limits of biosphere, students must be knowing 11,000 meters deepest point, 11,084 meters, Challenger Deep, Mariana Trench, Southern Pacific, and 6,400 meters is the tree line, above which you find few spores, that's all. But Dr. Jayan Narikar, whom I know very closely personally, and Charles Cockell and many other, Dr. Fred Oil, Chandra Vikram Singh, they are astrobiologists. They sent a balloon in upper stratosphere, 35 kilometers, and they collected samples of air and they found microorganisms at 35 kilometers. Nobody knows, some of these were absolutely new, how at that particular height, altitude, they could survive and what role they may be playing, whether they are tumbling down and getting into troposphere. So from stratosphere to troposphere, whether there is any import of biological ice nuclei. This is a big question mark and many controlled experiments are required on part of the IMD also. And IMD, I am 100% sure within the next 5 years, they cannot just brush away this idea. in world, not only India now, in Indian subcontinent, they may approach pictures. Millions of tons of desert sand, silica particles are coming towards Arabian Sea. And we wanted to see whether they are we can trap them in our university. Because it is directly across, we are on the same latitude as Addis Ababa, pending city. So, anything that lands in Addis Ababa can be carried to our coast. Next. Double click. Double click.
Double.
It is a video. If you don't have a video player, it won't play. Yeah, so you have to play it. So it is embedded. It is in the same folder.
You minimize and go to that.
Yeah, that is another video. No, this particular video was.
Now you can click it, double click it. No.
This video was taken because you know that our campus is like an observatory, nature's observatory. There are only 2 or 3 people working. I have largest number in the world on this species. 100 videos you will see on YouTube. They are all, my videos. And this is a gift to the whole world on these species which are very popular in local wisdom. Now you won't be able to hear the commentary which is important because it tells you lots of things about how these new species are now appearing and how they are getting deformed because they are not supposed to fruit at this time. But something has happened to their genes. There is a separate paper on that which I will not be able to explain due to lack of time. We will have to rush through next, sir. We will cut the video because other people can see it on my Nandkumar. Please write down his YouTube channel, Nandkumar, and just type dermatomyces. You will get my 5 videos there. Okay, so Joaquin Goes came to university and warned us and shocked us, saying that we have to plan now. We asked him what we have to plan. He said that fisheries, that 20 million fishermen on the west coast of India will all get jobless. Why? Because ocean acidity will, will change it. Fishing will die. Anoxic conditions will develop. Not tomorrow. Nobody can put a time on 2050, 60, but they say that this is going to happen. It is already happening next. So, final part is, as I told you right in the beginning, that Goa is extremely vulnerable to sea level rise, and everybody is now interested in building close to Miramar, close to Danapaula, close to coast, close to beach. Everybody wants to put a shack close to beach, and once the sea makes an ingress, they ask for compensation. People build very close to a river, and when the river rises in flood, they say, my house has been flooded. So, it is very important to understand the situation. We will rush through this slide. Please. So, quick answer for India is all cities, estuarine floodplains are vulnerable, cities are vulnerable, some are partially vulnerable. Next. So, next. This is what world is discussing. These are some headlines. Next. Next. Arctic sea ice is melting fast, Greenland ice sheets are melting fast. Antarctica, huge chunks you can see from satellite are coming apart and melting. Sea level even now at this moment, micrometer by micrometer, imperceptibly it is rising, but only the tidal gauges will tell you the picture.